Joe, did you pour one out for Alabama today as a state?
Um, not to not, I don't waste no alcohol. No.
Do you do you hear the did you hear?
What's the tragic news?
So apparently Pornhub has pulled from Alabama.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. I know.
Pornhub has what?
You guys ever get busted as kids? Did you ever get busted?
Okay, I never got busted. Okay, the way I got busted was like how you shouldn't get busted. So I remember like for some reason I was trying to find a Drew Carey picture, and it was just like fake Drew Carey
Whoa.
porn.
Wasn't expecting that.
Whoa,
They
hold
just
on.
explained the glasses.
Hang
It
on.
wasn't Drew Carey porn. I was just looking for a Drew picture of
Are
actual
you
Drew Carey.
sure?
As you do. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I went through a
that's
phase as well where I was all about some Drew Carey.
my mom busts in, and it's like just fake Drew Carey porn. And she's like, "Oh, okay.
Whose dick is it anyway?
oh me.
What's up, everybody? We're Locker Room Junkies. I'm Joe. These two Greek goddesses that you see are Kevin and James. It's been a fucking weird ass week for NFL, pretty nonchalant week for college football. But let's jump into it. That's episode 6 here. Sports and Brews. But Kevin, I mean we both had bad weeks this week. Titans and Bucks both lost. But it's Bucks' first loss. I guess we should talk about the Titans because this is their third loss.
Yeah, it was bad, man. It was it was oh the irony of just getting crushed by the quarterback you traded that we were surprised they traded. Who
Yeah, yeah. Losing to Malik Willis really hurts. Especially when he looks pretty good. I mean, they keep Willis pretty tamed on the ground. That's usually where he stays, but man, it's never good when you're technically was your third string quarterback comes out and beats you in week 3.
Yeah, it goes to show you a lot though, because he didn't just magically become this quarterback. I mean, he showed all those flashes in camp. Like everyone's like, he was the best
Yeah,
quarterback. He looked like
yeah.
the best quarterback. So it was, and I mean, he's been there for 3 weeks. So you look at a lot of things. I mean, yeah, somewhat I'd read somewhere. I was like, well, Malik actually probably was more prepared for this game because he's been going against that defense. Like that's a good point.
That's a fair point. I never thought about.
But he only threw the ball like maybe 16, 17 times, and the Titans were geared to stop the run from Jacobs, and they did. They shut him down, but they didn't think
Yeah,
about
they shut
stopping
Jacobs down, and Jacobs had a lot of carries.
Yeah, but they didn't think about stopping Willis, and that's where they got those big chunk plays. They got a few in the passing game, but they didn't plan to stop him from running for whatever reason. So I mean, I'd have to look at his stats, but I mean, I remember at one time in the second quarter, I think he'd already had 73 rushing yards. And so
Yeah.
they just their game plan's not there, and I think that's been their issue thus far has been game planning, and it's new coaches. Not to make an excuse for them, you got all that talent on the roster, you got to figure something out. Um, but for I'd say even though he threw a pick six, Levis looks better. He's looked better every week, so there's a plus. They've got to stop trying to get Burks involved because it's not working.
Gosh, man, Burks has got to be like, he's just dead weight at this point. And I saw something today where they're like, we have full faith in Burks. I'm like, no, just stop.
What is Burks?
And he's a receiver they drafted like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. This is third year.
But he's not just a receiver they drafted. They gave up a really good receiver to get the draft pick to draft this receiver.
Hmm.
And it's not, I mean, hindsight's 2020, I guess. I mean, if Burks was fucking balling, then we wouldn't even question it. But we know AJ Brown can ball. And he already proved that too, was the thing. Just pay the man.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not like they got a first rounder; they just swapped first rounders, so it wasn't even
Yeah,
that
yeah,
bad.
that's true too. It's like it literally got him. I mean, they got AJ Brown for like nothing.
They did, and
Uh,
that's good for them. I like the Eagles, so it was very nice. At
so
least he went
it's
there.
proven the NFL now is a league where you have to have weapons at the receiver position, or you're not gonna. you're not going to be a good team. It's
Mm-mm.
let's face it. I mean, the days of running back carrying your team are gone. That's not the case anymore.
No, man, and yeah, they're going, but it was the defense. I thought about the defense too. There was a couple plays that definitely changed. Jeff Simmons had that holding or something on
He had the
the
penalty,
penalty and the field
which,
goal that turned into a touchdown.
yep, then that was a big play too. Like it was like a 31, 39 yard play for Malik or something.
Something stupid.
That was a bad one from Simmons, which cost, some points that shouldn't have been there.
It shouldn't have been there. So beyond that, the defense gave up 23 points. So our offense should have been able to put up 24. Let's be real. No matter what, Packers defense is good. I mean, they've done good so far. But I mean, it was a tough one. But I mean, actually, I was happy for Malik Willis. I think it was great to see. I mean, he didn't
Yeah,
seem.
I mean, good for Malik Willis, honestly, because I never thought Malik was a franchise quarterback, but I never hated Malik Willis. And like, what was it? The year before they took Levis is when they took Malik, and
Yeah,
they didn't take Malik super late, so it was kind of like, what was the point of taking him?
he was the second quarterback drafted that year. Kenny Pickett went in the first round, and then he was in the third. He was the second quarterback. So, and a lot of people thought he was going to be the first quarterback.
Yeah,
But so it was a weak draft class, I guess you could say, for quarterbacks that year. But
yeah, yeah,
dude, he played good, and it just shows to show you, man, when you can get blocking and you have the right coaching and play calling and schemes, you can you can do that because the Titans' defense was up till this week was number one in the NFL from yardage, rushing
yeah.
and passing.
Yeah, Titans
So
defense is, I mean, like you said, like it's their bread and butter. It's always kind of been their bread and butter, but I don't know, man. I feel like I don't know if it's ESPN pushing it or just local news pushing it, but they won't like this Callahan and like Levis like bump heads like every time, like, oh, Callahan's wording you fucking suck to him as he's coming off the field and shit like that.
I mean, he's hey, I'm gonna tell you what, he's Levis has improved. And
Yeah.
so it's working. And that's not the reason. Like he was not the reason they lost this time. The dude, I mean, he had got sacked 8, 9 times. Look at his numbers and like look at
Offensive
when
line is still like Titans' weakest spot, I think, personally.
yeah, and he did good. He played a good game given what the pressures he was facing and the sacks he got and the amount of time he got hit. I mean, dude, he played a good game. And I'm not saying like, oh,
Yeah.
he's the
He
same
did
year.
have two interceptions though.
He did.
He
Did he
went
have
he
two?
went so here's what Levis did. 26 of 34, 260 yards, two touchdowns, two interceptions.
Hmm. Well, and that pick six was a big one, but
The pick six
he's
was a big one. But I mean, look, here's the thing though. The production they're getting from the running backs, 14 yards from Pollard. That was their leading rusher. 14 yards. That's not good. That's not good.
no, they've got some offensive line issues. They've got some issues all across the board. I think the coaching has been the play calling's been bad. They're not making adjustments
The play
defensively
calling
or
has not
offensively.
been what it should be. Like it's like they can't figure out what they need to do to move the ball, and it's like it's not a case where I think there's too many weapons. It's just like I don't think they've discovered how. Like okay, Tajay Spears had four receptions for 54 yards. That's a good way to use Tajay Spears out of the backfield.
He
Um,
needs more playing time. He's been nothing but impressive every time he gets the ball in his hands.
Yeah, but I mean, your quarterback's probably going to have two interceptions if your leading running back has only had six carries for 14 yards. I mean, that means he's throwing the ball every fucking down.
And with 8 sacks and however many pressures, I think he was pressured like
Eight
something like
sacks, yeah.
60% of his dropbacks.
Well,
Like
now that's just going to be the norm. I mean, that offensive line's going to have to fucking nut up. I mean, that's just what it's going to be, and every team knows it.
they're going to have to be better. They're going to have to be better. But it's cool because at the beginning of the year, everyone was pissed off about this bye week coming early. It's working in their favor. They need this bye week because they have the game against Miami Monday. Then they're on the bye week.
They got
They
the Monday Night
need the bye
Football
week.
game.
They need that bye
They
week to get some
should
shit together.
win. They're going to be playing fucking Skylar Thompson. I mean, no.
No, Tim Boyle.
I was at Tim Boyle. Skylar Thompson got injured, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, if Titans can't pick this one up on Monday Night Football,
Yeah, I think they should. You know what's funny is this is the third game in a row they're favored in.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're favored. You know what else is crazy? I mean, even everything that's happened to the Titans, it's not like the season's over and it's the end. AFC South is not looking very good. Jacksonville looks just as bad, if not worse, than the Titans.
Yeah,
Indianapolis got a win, but I mean, they're not looking that good. Houston's obviously the best team,
they
and
got
they just got
smacked.
fucking smoked. So, I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's funny you
I,
bring up Jacksonville. Funny you bring up. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say, I don't. I think the AFC South is still completely up for grabs at this point of the season right now.
You're
And
right.
and I mean, Titans shouldn't get ahead of themselves thinking that way, but it's got to be comforting to know, like, okay, nobody's like took this division and is running with it yet.
Shit, nobody in the AFCs, nobody in the no NFL teams have really impressed me yet this thus far. But
Well, the
I mean,
Vikings.
yeah, other than the
If
Vikings, yeah,
anybody's, I
Vikings.
think you're the only person who was like, let's not just joke on the Vikings yet, because I
Yeah,
was. There was a reason why I stayed clear of Justin Jefferson in every draft. I was like, there's no way I'm touching that motherfucker because Sam Donald's gonna be throwing to him.
I was
I'm like, shit, I
very
should have
high
picked
on
up
him.
Justin Jefferson because he's fucking balling out with Sam Donald. I mean,
Yeah. We did no, you're right. We talked about it on one of the first episodes about the Vikings being a potential team that can do some damage. I wasn't surprised. I mean, just Sam Darnold's been kind of waiting. He's one of those, just like Andy Dalton going in Carolina and destroying. Like, dude, like it was
yeah,
very obvious in week one how veterans being a veteran in the NFL was going to help your team. And there's so much movement, so many young quarterbacks, and so many people just not preparing the right way with the preseason. No one playing because they don't want to get hurt, which I get
yeah.
it, you know.
We
But
we got to think. Um, the NFL used to be a league where it was okay to sit a rookie quarterback a year or two. In fact, that was the preferred method of doing it. But now we live in a world where, I mean, it's not just like us as people that need instant gratification. It's like the nature of the business. Like if you're a coach, man, you got like what, a 3 year stretch. You better make something happen or you're fucking fired. Like people just don't sit on you anymore like they used to. So when you draft somebody in the first round, you got to play them now to where they used to sit out a couple years and develop. And Bryce Young obviously needed developed if he's going to have any chance of succeeding in the NFL. I don't know if he's ever going to succeed in the NFL, but putting that motherfucker in at day one was not the right choice. Because Andy Dalton went out and had four fucking touchdowns. You would have thought he was the best quarterback in the league
yeah,
on
different
what
team,
I think
just
is the
that
worst
guy.
team in the league. So,
Yeah, and they beat who did they beat? The Raiders.
yeah, they beat the Raiders. Yeah.
The Raiders who just beat
And at Las Vegas.
Baltimore. And so that's
Mhm.
the NFL is such a weird thing. But I was going to point out one thing though. It's so there's 3-0-3 teams, right? We know who they are: Tennessee, Cincinnati, and Jacksonville. You see where I'm
In
going with this?
Jacksonville, yeah. In Jacksonville's
So
young.
there's some common things there, right? So Callahan left Cincinnati,
Yeah.
and then the Titans' offensive coordinator was the Jaguars' passing game coordinator last year. So there's a lot of weird things there. I'm not saying that it's just all these new coaches. Like they need to figure, they got to learn how to coach because the Titans have head coach that's new, offensive coordinator that's new, defensive coordinator that's new. And by the way, look at Baltimore's secondary. Other day looked good against Dallas, but first two games they didn't look good, so they're
No.
hurt.
Yeah.
And like I said, I would say the Bengals and Titans are probably the most similar now, just because of that Callahan Zach Taylor relationship. They're both 0-3, so it's like they need each other to succeed, maybe, but they got to learn how to win without each other.
Yeah. They got to learn how to, I mean, Titans just got to learn how to win. Like you said, it's a lot of new pieces. The season's still young. Obviously, I think. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, if Titans were playing Jags today, I would take the Titans.
I mean, hell, we just said it. They're favored 3 games in a row now.
Yeah,
It's like even which is weird because Vegas is gave them 6.5 wins, but yet they've been favored 3 out of their 4 games already.
yeah. Now Cincinnati problem lies in like defense, though. I feel like Joe Burrow's been okay.
He was good against Washington, but he wasn't good the first 2 games. He was okay. I mean, he was good against KC. He was good against KC. I was
Yeah,
gonna
he
say, but
was
he
he
was
was he was
not
going to get
good.
Washington, but Washington's also, I think, the number one or number two defense, worst defense in the league against the passing. So, I mean, most quarterbacks are going to look good if that's the case.
Yeah, yeah, and Jaden Daniels is just you called that
Hey,
one.
hey, Jaden Daniels, I was on the Jaden Daniels train. I wanted Tampa Bay to just fucking do what they had to do to get Jaden Daniels. Personally, I mean, like I watched a guy play in college and I could tell he could ball. But
Yeah.
we'll see. His career's still young. I've been wrong before. I was wrong about Justin Herbert. I thought that guy wasn't going to make it, and he looks pretty good.
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, he's looking all right. He's definitely the best Oregon quarterback we've seen.
Sorry, Mariota.
Yeah, we love Mariota, but he's definitely doing better than that. But yeah, man, they just gotta, I don't know, they gotta learn how to make some adjustments, and they gotta get this win in Miami. They need it for if they go into the bye week with that win, it's gonna be a lot better than another loss. And I
Yeah.
think they should win this game.
I think
Obviously,
they
they
should win the game. I think they should turn the fucking defense up 3 notches, bring that fucking pressure,
yeah,
get a pick, 1 or 2 picks in the game can, might make a difference because the offense is still gonna have some struggles, but they just gotta score enough points. I mean, that's just what it
yeah.
comes down to.
You
Defense
said
hasn't
they're
had a
playing
turnover
you
yet
said they're
either, brother.
playing Miami this week coming up.
Yes.
Yep. Monday Night Football, Titans playing the Dolphins.
The Dolphin. That's what that was my next question. If they were still the Dolphins.
Yes.
Yeah.
So who's our quarterback now?
His name's Will Levis.
Well, okay. So it's gonna be like him versus Dan Marino. Is he still playing
They're actually going to
for the
have a
Dolphins?
throwback night and have Dan come out.
It would be better for them to have Dan come out, I think, at this point.
I think Dan Mike still can spin the ball. Um, big time Dan. He still got it. He's on one of those um uh testosterone commercials or something, isn't he? With like Barry Bonds or some shit.
Oh yeah, I don't know which one it is, but I know what you're talking about. I feel like I've seen that. But dude, yeah,
I still please my wife like I'm 30. Yeah, he's in one of those commercials.
Shout out to Blue Chew, our
Blue
sponsor.
Chew. We're still
Uh,
waiting for
would you
you.
guys say that it's hard to be a Titans fan over the last few years? Is it difficult? Like it just feels like bam after like you had the break with Henry. That was a glimmer of hope, right? That we were going to be a power team if we could just get the ball to him and protect him, and then now he's wearing a purple jersey apparently. So
Yeah.
it seems like we're so good, or Tennessee is so good at snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Would you guys agree with that, or
I
what
think
what
that might
what
be
keeps you
the
guys?
most spot on sports opinion you probably had as a Titans fan. As a Titans fan, it's like, it gets dangled in your face how good you can be. It's just never like it's never there though, if that
It's
makes sense.
so close every year. Or, well, not
mhm.
every year, but every few years we get some sort of big like, here you go, guys. Here's your chance, and we're like,
They had they
fuck
had a, they
that.
had a they had a legit Super Bowl window a few years ago that
And they
they just
blew it.
they couldn't figure it. I don't. They just
That
couldn't
was
get it.
their year.
That they had it one year where they were the team to beat and they couldn't get it done. So
That might be the year I'm thinking of,
It was like
because
3 years ago.
yeah,
yeah, I loosely hang on to it. Like I said, I'm a bandwagon fan. I go where the winners are. That's how I roll. I'm a fan of winning. So, the Patriots, go Pats, except now, not so much anymore.
not so much anymore.
Alabama, roll tide
There you
until
go.
lately.
There you
And
go.
not anymore. Now I'm pretty big on Georgia because I hear they win a lot. I haven't actually won a game, but they're probably pretty good because I hear people talk about them. But no, it's hard. It's hard being a fan of a team that just constantly gets their teeth kicked in, and I'm
Well,
wondering what gets you guys hanging in there and holding on hope, and every year being a rebuilding year.
I want to say
What's your
it's
take?
more painful actually when they're good. Here's
Mhm.
why. Because it's more disappointment. When they suck, okay, it's fine. Let's see how bad they get their ass kicked today. But when they're good, we're all hesitant to really buy into it. Like even that game against the Bengals that they lost that you're referencing, we knew like they dominated all year. We knew some shit like that was going to happen. I didn't even watch it. I did not watch it. Literally did not
Yeah.
watch it. And I pulled up the score and I
It's
knew it was going to happen.
just a constant letdown feeling. It's like that girl that you really wanted to fuck in high school and you finally get the chance now that you're in college and you're just like, damn, it's not what I
Starfish.
it's not what I envisioned it.
Yeah.
Just a such a
Starfish, and there's a smell you can't quite. It's like Doritos or something. You're
yeah.
like, what?
What keeps us going? I mean, we're just fans of it. I'm never gonna. I mean, I'm definitely a fan. It's the pain is unfortunate, but can't. I don't know. It's hard to choose who you want to be a fan of and just
But
change like that.
the feeling of always having that letdown though, and like Kevin said, it is harder when they're good and they should be like, okay, they're for sure good to be a playoff team, and then some years they're like, no, they're good to be like team one, team two, like that's how good they are. But when it's the feeling of the high when they are that good and they are fucking like steamrolling teams that you're like, yeah,
Oh yeah, it's nice.
makes that letdown worth it. But you always know in the back of your head when those
It
playoffs,
ain't gonna last.
yeah.
Yeah, when playoffs start, let's see what happens. But yeah, but that's it. But enough of the Titans. I'd like to talk about my surprise of Sunday afternoon when I decided to open my app and see the Bo Nix led Broncos went to
Okay.
Tampa and won 34-7. I would not have predicted that.
The fucking Broncos, man. How is Tampa Bay? This is okay. This is what I was hinting at ever since we started this podcast about Baker Mayfield. It's like he goes out two games and you're like, damn, Baker's like a top 10 fucking quarterback in this league. And then there's a game where Tampa Bay loses to the Denver fucking Broncos. And I hate Bo Nix more than anybody in the league. And they're gonna lose the fucking Bo Nix, the motherfucker who couldn't make it at Auburn, went to Oregon, had a pretty decent career. But goddamn, the fact that he played at Auburn just makes me hate him even more. But I don't like the guy. I don't like nothing about the guy. I wish him no success. If for some reason you're watching this, I hope you fucking don't make it 2 years in the league. I don't like nothing about you. Sorry, not sorry. I'm pissed that the Bucs couldn't fucking figure out a way to win at home against the Denver fucking Broncos. I don't think Bo Nix was playing. That was John Elway under that fucking helmet because there's no way Bo Nix beat fucking Tampa Bay.
He
God,
did.
man, that game pissed me off. I had to listen to this game on the way home because I was coming from Huntsville. And I was just like, come on. Like, anytime you thought Tampa Bay might start something, now there's Baker. He can't convert the fourth down. Here comes Bo Nix on the field. I was like, God damn, I hate
I'm
this.
gonna watch the highlights
Joe,
of that one. I need to.
Joe, this podcast is never gonna take off if you don't stop holding back. Okay? You need to give us what you really think and quit sugarcoating everything, okay?
I've been waiting for this one because I don't, I have no love for the Broncos. I've never been one that like, I hate the Broncos. But the Broncos are fucking horrible. The Broncos are
They
not
sh-
a good team. Sean Payton hasn't done shit with the Broncos since he's been there. He's fucking Sean Payton. He was with the Saints, but how much was that was Drew Brees? Let's be honest. Okay. Once again, he's making Bo Nix look like John Elway. Gosh, man, it's a disappointment. That's a hard loss. I can accept losing to the Chiefs. I can accept losing to good teams, but you lose to Bo Nix.
Gotta win the games you're supposed to win.
Questionable. You got to win the games you're supposed to win. That's the best analogy I've heard today. And now we get to be a 2-1 team to play against the Eagles. And who knows what that's going to be? I mean, the Eagles are still kind of like, what are they? Are they good? Are they bad? How do we know?
They're
Like
good.
I think they're good. I think they're
They're
good.
good.
Falcons got them, and it makes me think that the Falcons have potential to be good. I mean, the Falcons made a shit ton of moves this offseason. I'll give them that. And Kirk Cousins, when he's playing good, he plays good. But we get the Eagles this week. Now, I mean, it's not okay. It's not a must-win game, but when you play that bad against Bo Nix, you better come out and play better against the Eagles, or they're going to really slaughter your ass.
They're going to be motivated too. They played. I mean, they were almost embarrassed. I mean, say embarrassed. There was a lot of problems at the end of the year for Philadelphia last year, but then the icing on the cake was going to Tampa and just getting destroyed in the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it
Well,
wasn't.
that's so the Eagles are going to have a chip on their shoulders because of that game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the game's in Philadelphia too.
Is that Tampa Bay?
Oh, okay. Well, that'll benefit it. I mean, if it's warm, well, are they gonna play?
Oh, that's another
Actually,
good question. We got hurricane going on. I thought hurricane season was over with.
there right now, actually. But they'll play, and when they do play, it's being in Tampa. If it's depending on what the weather does, but I mean, if it's 90 something, which you thought would have had a better effect on the Broncos too, because when it's like 90 plus, Tampa puts the away team in their home jerseys, so they're in those dark colors,
So
and it's
they're in
really
the
dark.
heat. Yeah, so they in the
And
heat.
in Tampa, that stadium's far. I think it's far enough off the water too. You're not going to get any breeze. It's going to be miserable, which is
Yep.
more surprising that Denver was able to go in there and do it because Tampa at least practices in it.
Yep.
Um, and then not only just the heat, but the fact they're in those dark colors, like that makes a big difference. That's why if you ever notice that, that's why they'll do that. When it's these months, you'll see the
Oh
home
yeah.
team wearing their
Which is
away
smart.
jersey.
I mean, hey, it's a home it's supposed to be home field advantage for a reason, right? So why not actually make it home field advantage?
But can Philly go in there in them dark green jerseys? I think. I mean, yeah, we'll see. I mean, Philly, they looked. I mean, they didn't look good losing to Atlanta, but then they looked good. They beat Green Bay was nice. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
they looked a lot more like the Eagles last week than they did against the Falcons.
Yeah.
And they were that I think they didn't have AJ Brown last week either, did they? Or they didn't have AJ Brown when they played the Falcons. He might still be out, I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
Hopefully he's not playing this week. That's all I know.
yeah,
We're gonna
well,
still be having nightmares of Bo Nix from the week before.
Bo Nick's running all over the place. Well, yeah. Well, so that's the take on Tampa. Then I won't discuss that anymore because it's obviously painful, and I didn't get to watch much of the game, but I was very shocked when I saw 34-7. I
I
was like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Going into halftime, they were down. I can't remember what they were down. I wanted to say like 20-7, something like that. And I was like, okay, they just had a bad half of football. They're going to come out in the second half, be dominant because they can score quick if they need to. They got playmakers.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
they didn't. They never scored again. That was it. 27 points. So
that's rough.
not a good week for the Bucks. Nothing to hang the hat on. Just makes you think, okay, there's the Baker Mayfield that everybody talks shit about. I still wouldn't like say like, I mean, okay, Baker's still the best option we got, obviously, and he's going to continue the season. But I like to see him step up into more of a leadership role and find ways to win these games.
That's all it takes. He's got to find ways to win, and like, you can't. I don't know. You can't do that when your team's 2-0 and you got to. I don't know. I just think like you can seize a lot early on in the year, but it's a long season. We know that, but
Yeah.
if you go 3-0, you go up in the division now. You win the game you're supposed to win. You and it was an AFC team too, so it's not as important as an NFC opponent for those guys. But I think they got to take advantage of the games that they should win. Which in the NFL, no game's easy to win, but every now and then you get a game you're supposed to win. I mean, it used to be, you have a lot of games you're supposed to win, but it's really across the board, especially this year has shown it. You don't know fucking what's going to happen week after
Yeah. It's hard to
week.
bet, man. It is hard to bet in the NFL right now because you think the Chiefs are going to win. You think they should win. I'm not saying the Chiefs haven't lost yet, but I mean, would I be surprised if the Chiefs lost this week? And I think that's a easy bet. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Like it's been hard.
Very hard, very hard. So yeah, I mean, but he's gonna have to do something. Baker's gonna have to do something to, I mean, keep Tampa from not exploring their options in the
Yeah,
offseason.
and I mean Baker's job's safe this year.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say like this trend just keeps going south off season. Yeah, they'll be looking for options.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
thousand percent. 1,000%.
So and he's got an opportunity there, but
Yeah, it is what it is. Oh well. But I think we're going a different route this week on some trivia, if I'm not mistaken.
that sounds fun.
Um,
Uh, yeah, Kevin, I've been in the hot seat enough, I think.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
You piece
This
of
is gonna be
shit.
fun.
Yeah, you're up.
for you Puerto Ricans that have been watching and keeping up with us, there was a little teaser about Kevin jumping in trivia this week, and I know you at Puerto Rico. This is why you're watching. You don't give a shit about the Titans. You don't give a fuck about the Bucks, but you do care about the trivia.
It's my time to
I
shine,
got it.
Kevin.
Yeah, I'm ready. Now the phone is put away. There's no cheating involved. I want the full force. The full force.
Oh, I got some force coming at you.
So what are we doing? What are we asking
All
today?
right, so here's the deal, Pickle. I'm gonna ask you a Star Wars question, and I'm gonna ask you a sports question.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
the
keep
points don't
tally here.
matter. Okay, all right. Well, the points kind of do matter. So Joe's gonna keep up, and we'll go from there. But you cannot phone a friend. You can ask multiple choice on the Star Wars questions, but you can't ask multiple choice on the Star Wars question on the sports questions because I don't know enough about these answers to give you multiples.
Got it.
So you're on your own on the NFL questions.
Got it.
Um, all right, so let's start off with the sports ones. So these are all in the category of NFL.
Okay.
You ready? You
Yeah. Yeah.
bitch? You bitch? You ready? Okay.
Angry.
All right. Well, okay. Uh, who has kicked the longest field goal successfully of all time?
Justin Tucker, 66 yards.
Okay, whatever. So
That's
in
Kevin's favorite kicker, just so everybody knows.
all right, well, all right, so you got one. Okay. Star Wars in the category of Return of the Jedi. Who killed the Emperor?
Darth Vader.
Okay. All right. Whatever. Okay, so anyway, the next question for sports. You smart ass.
I need to know if that's right for tally mark.
He's right. He's right.
Okay,
He's
good
right.
job, Kevin.
He's
I
right.
wouldn't have got that. I would have said Luke Skywalker.
That was the trick. Yeah, I figured you would have.
You would have
So,
got me.
all right, well, you're next, you dick. Okay. Are y'all impressed that I'm able to read my phone and see out of this thing?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, that's badass. They
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
a
just
little
share the phone closer so we can see what you're seeing.
Shut the fuck up. No. Anyway. Okay, so here we go. This is NFL.
Okay.
Who has the most sacks in the NFL of all time?
Bruce Smith,
Oh yeah? Well, how many sacks is it?
200 and fucking three, four.
All right, whatever.
Whew,
Is that
Hey
close?
Joe. Yeah, I don't know. The test said 200. The answer said 200, so you're
that's
probably
impressive.
right.
That's impressive. I wouldn't know the sacks total.
That's yeah. I threw that in there to be a dick, and then you made me look like an asshole. But
That's fine.
all
We got
right,
Star Wars.
all right, you ready? Here you go. In the category of Phantom Menace, what is
Love that
Anakin's
cartoon.
what is Anakin's mom's name?
The only reason I think I know this is because you said it like four times in a prior episode. I would not have gotten this. Is it Shmi?
Joe, cut the segment. Okay, all
I
right.
think somebody might be the new Star Wars trivia champion in this group here.
Oh
I,
no.
I wrote the fucking test, Joe. You stay in your lane.
Just because Kevin didn't buy some helmet off of Etsy doesn't mean he's not as big of a fan.
Etsy. Etsy. Wow. I
First
can
of
see his
all,
blank stare through that Mandalorian mask.
this helmet was forged in the fires of Mandalore, so check your privilege. Second of all, I wrote the fucking test, okay? I didn't get it off of Amazon like you did. You
I use
you,
Google.
you dick. Anyway, man, my breath smells terrible in this thing. All right. Okay, bonus question.
Ah,
You ready, Kevin?
I'm ready.
All right. What was Anakin's dad's name?
Multiple choice.
Okay. Was it A, Owen Lars? Was it B, Sheev Palpatine? Was it C, Plagius the Wise? Or was it D, Jeffrey?
But there is a part of me that wants to go Jeffrey just because I there that has to be the obviously wrong one, but I have no idea. Um, Palpatine, the Wise, something the Wise,
Plagius the Wise.
Plagueis the Wise. I'm gonna go with that. Is that right?
So no, he didn't
Ah,
have a father.
Hmm.
oh, so he's
Hmm.
like Yoda.
He's more like Jesus. He was conceived in the force with no father.
Interesting.
Now, technically, if you want to think about the Legends books, in the book about Plagueis the Wise, he and Palpatine created a rift in the Force, which supposedly impregnated the slave woman on Tatooine. So,
So who's it at? Palpatine or?
could be both. You could be kind of right. It's one of those old technical questions. I just
But
wanted to
we
see
don't
if
know.
you had an idea. But anyway, you guessed. All right. So, back on the subject of NFL. What year was the NFL founded?
Oh fuck, it's gonna be in the '60s, but I do not know the year. I would have to go back to Super Bowls. Um, well, no, because they had a Super Bowl. One was not even NFL; it was AFL. And no, NFL. I'm not sure. NFL was probably earlier than that. I don't know. 1960.
Wrong. You're so dumb. No. According to my research on Google, it was 1920.
I
Wow.
was gonna say 1920.
Yeah. I think you're thinking of when Super Bowl started.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
no, part of it, but then I knew that it was an AFL NFL matchup, and that's what made me reconsider. Like, oh, wait a minute. So it had to have been before that, but no, that's good. No, I did not know what year it started.
No, you didn't, you stupid bastard. All right, so in the in the category of episode 4, A New Hope, what was Obi-Wan known by during his years watching Luke on Tatooine?
Shit. Uncle, Uncle, Uncle something. No. That's good. Can we get a multiple choice on this one?
Multiple choice on all of them? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, I can guess. Part of me wants to say Uncle Ben, but that's Spider Man, right?
that's fine.
Spider-Man had an Uncle Ben.
Close,
Spider-Man had an Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben's
close.
rice.
All
Oh,
right.
the Rice guy. Yeah, the Rice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I can forge a guess. Um, but man, Uncle something.
All right. So you
And
want
that's
a
all I
multiple
got.
choice?
Yes, oh for sure.
All right. So we've got, hang on. Let me think. What would be some good ones? Um,
Yoda.
hmm. Okay, yeah. We got Yoda, um, Ben, uh, Uncle Owen, um, Jabba the Hutt.
So maybe it's Ben. Maybe he was known as Ben. It's Ben. Has to be.
So I'm gonna have to make these questions a little bit harder next time, I guess.
Oh, champion. Champ is here.
So I was close.
You ain't gonna get some of these others though. We don't only have a few more to go, and you're not gonna get them. All right? Don't think you are. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
NFL. What is the only team to have an undefeated season in the Super Bowl era?
So I guess including Super Bowl would be the 1972 Miami Dolphins.
Jesus H. Christ, Kevin.
Yep, you got that one.
Yeah, with Dan Marino.
Don
Do you know who the coach was?
Uh,
Shula.
Shula. Yep.
Kevin, you're a nerd. All right.
Nerd.
Okay. Here you go.
Star Wars.
Hold on, hold on. I just let me chime in real quick and just let everybody know that right now you're tied 3-3 on Star Wars and sports.
Man,
bronze and brains. That's what we're seeing here.
that's it. That's it.
All right.
It.
All right. You dick. You ready for to be what you eat?
Yeah, now I'm
Okay.
going into advanced Star Wars. I can't wait.
How old was Yoda at the time of his death?
900 and something. I'm
Fuck
close.
me. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go back and write some more by the end of
But
this
that's
episode.
but I'm gonna guess a 900 number because clearly I don't know the number.
I feel
He
like you
never,
could guess 900 in a range though. That gets a tally.
I mean, he was 900.
Oh, he was actually 900. I was thinking like 908.
He never said, he said, when 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not. But you probably could have quoted that too.
No, no, I just remember the 900 thing for whatever reason. Um, but yeah, I would not have thought 900 though. Like I would not have went
All right.
985.
Shut up. Shut up. You're starting to piss me off. So here's this question. NFL. You ready?
Oh yeah,
All right. You ain't got this one. How many NFL teams' names are some kind of bird?
like I can do the math, but I think there's five. But I want to just double check because I know there's the Seahawks, the Eagles, the Falcons, the Ravens, and the Cardinals. So five.
All right. Okay.
4-4.
Yeah, well, it's a Seahawk doesn't count.
It's on my list. But yeah, five. Falcons, Eagles, Seahawks, Ravens, and Cardinals.
A lot of people
So,
forget about the Cardinals.
all right. Here you go. Star Wars. In the category of Return of the Jedi. Fill in the blank. I am a blank like my father before me.
Oh me, I think I'm gonna get this one right. Jedi.
Son of a fucking.
Damn. Kevin,
All
I did
right.
you were the biggest Star Wars fan I know.
There's no way these are gotta be these are like easy though, right?
Like I said in our pre-show
Made
chat,
it easy.
I had some rough ones, and Alicia was like, "You might want to tone it down a little bit." My wife was like, "You might want to back up a little bit." And I was like,
Well,
"All
we
right."
need a
So,
rough one. We need a
but
rough one
well,
next.
now I know where you are. So yeah, you're gonna get some dumb ones later.
Just to
All
be
right.
fair, I think that might have been the only one I would have got, and that's just because that would have been a guess because it sounded like it would have been right.
Yeah, Luke says it, right? Does Luke say it? Doesn't Luke say it?
Yeah, Luke says
He's
it
the
to
only one that would
he
say it.
says it to the Emperor. Which NFL team holds the record for longest losing streak of all time?
That's a good one. I don't know that one.
Fuck.
I bet you fucking do, Joe.
The longest
I have
it's
a, I have
probably
a,
the Bucs
I
then
was,
is what
I know. I knew it was the Bucks.
that's the creamsicle days, right? Those orange jerseys.
Yep.
What was it?
Bucks suck.
32? No, no, it wasn't 32.
Uh,
Could
uh,
have been 20 something.
26,
Yeah.
26 from 76 to 77.
And fuck, that was almost two back to back because that was when they played 14 games, dude. That was almost two back to back 0 and 16 years. Could you
Yep.
imagine?
Yeah.
Kevin, off script, what year did A New Hope premiere in theater?
The first one?
Yep.
Like the what, 77
Yeah.
ish.
The same year that the Bucks sucked.
Had the
All
best looking jerseys ever though.
That has the
right,
same
Kevin, you
jerseys.
got two more Star Wars questions. You ready?
Oh, I'm very ready.
Name five planets.
Holy shit. Tatooine. What's the place where the bears live?
Or,
Uh um
Joe, feel free to help him on this one.
Tatooine.
Naboo.
Naboo. Okay, that's another one. He said there was an ice planet. Does that count?
Name it.
Ice. Glacier.
No,
Glacial.
no,
Freeze.
no, no. I knew this one would do it.
Oh yeah. We
Earth.
got Tatooine. Earth. That's a good one.
Technically,
That's
yes.
because Han Solo came from Earth, right? That's good.
No, no.
The Ewok planet. Planet Ewok. Which we found that's the bears.
Um,
Need a
isn't
name.
Isn't the Death Star, isn't that technically a planet because it's so
It's
big?
it's not a planet. It was a small moon.
Hmm,
Well,
I didn't know that.
It was the size of a small moon.
Hmm.
That's no moon. It's a space age. Come on, guys.
Mandalorian.
Okay, close enough. Mandalore. I'll give you that.
Oh shit! I totally guessed. Okay, that was good. We got one more
They
Joe.
they come from they come from Mandalore, so you said it in the word.
And you
Yes, that's
said
fair.
Tatooine?
Yes.
Tattoon.
Tattoo. Is it
Joe,
is that
quit
what it
looking
is?
at a screen. Quit looking at a
Oh,
screen, you
okay,
cheating
sorry.
bastard.
I'm watching the game.
Just need a Star Wars commercial to come on.
I mean, I'm no help here. Naboo was the only one I knew.
That's impressive. I knew Tatooine.
I should
Uh,
have known Tatooine, but I didn't.
is it possible to get a multiple choice on the fifth, or is that just too easy if we do that?
Uh,
It's
no,
probably
you're
not
not.
possible.
No, you've gotten like four multiple choices. I'm not doing that anymore for you.
No, I cannot think of another one. I cannot. I'm gonna have to miss this one.
Okay.
What's the fifth
Well, name five more planets.
Jupiter.
one? Mars.
Yeah, no, that was the next question. The next question, if you got that right, was name five more.
Well, there's 10.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, there's dozens, dude. I could just, rattle them off, but fucking
What's the most famous planet?
Tatooine. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that's the one I should have known.
What's the
That's the
ice
one I
planet
wanted.
called?
Hoth.
Hoth. Okay, we talked about that in an
Did you
episode, so
say
that's why I
Hoth?
knew
Is
that.
that what you said?
He
I said
tried to.
ice.
He said ice. And then he said glacier.
He said,
Freeze.
he said the Ewok planet? Planet of the
Ewok planet, which they weren't even on a planet, they were on a moon. You're
With
so
the forest?
stupid. Yeah,
Oh,
the forest moon of Endor.
Ewok.
interesting.
So was that
Forest moon.
is that all the NFL questions?
Yeah, I got them all.
So it's a
That's he,
tie. Kevin
he named
knows
them.
just as much about sports as he does Star Wars. 5-5. You ended up with those tallies.
Look at
Impressive.
that.
Maybe I can place 37th at our next local Star Wars trivia. I'm coming.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna hold the pencil, okay?
Yes, we'll let you hold the pencil. But
Yeah. I'll have to hit you with some real questions next time.
those were real.
Who said it's a trap?
Mace Windu.
No. Okay. Yeah, I'll write them better next time, don't worry.
I
Now
can
I now I kind of know. You're not
I can
just,
picture the guy's head. I don't know what it's called, but it's a trap. Like I can picture that in my head.
yeah,
Oh, well, see, you got to put it in context of him screaming. I'm thinking he's say it's a trap. Don't do it.
it's a
I
trap.
would that
Yeah.
wouldn't have helped. I would have missed it either way. Jar Jar Binks.
Nope. God,
Speaking of
way
Jar
off.
Jar
You're like
Binks,
five movies away.
as a big Star Wars fan, what's your thoughts on Jar Jar?
I think that Jar Jar was a necessary evil at the time. Um, he was he was hilarious to me. Remember, I was 10 when that movie came out,
Mm-hmm.
and that movie was market. I was the demographic for that movie,
Yep.
and he killed it with me. I thought he was hilarious.
Jar
Um,
Jar.
yeah, that shit was so funny. And my dad, we watched that movie together countless times on VHS, and
Yeah.
he laughed at it. He's a grown dude. He saw the movies as they came out originally. He didn't give a shit. Um, People who took it a little too seriously back then
The
and couldn't
diehards.
appreciate, yeah, and the guys that couldn't appreciate what they had at the time, they're the ones who are mad about Jar Jar. Now, I'll say, you know, George Lucas went a little over the top with the character, and there are some fan edits that dial back the goofiness, and those are really good. Those I have a couple copies of those legally, and they're really good. They dial back his silliness and make it a little more watchable.
What's the
But
issue with Jar Jar Binks? What's the problem? What's the beef
that
with him?
he's too silly to fit in the universe.
Is
That
Princess
he's
Leia too hot in her fucking outfit?
absolutely
My
not. No,
my thing about Jar
Okay.
Jar
not too
is I
hot.
like
No.
all the
See, then
conspiracies that come with
okay.
them.
That's a vicious double standard we live by, Kevin. Okay. Okay. What is I'm gonna ask you shit that's not in the movies. That's
Well,
that's there in the movies, but isn't said in the movies. Like, what does an ATST stand for? Those were in the movie.
is that on the robots?
Something you catch during sex, right?
It is itchy.
ATSD. So is that now some
Eight.
partial credit? Is that what's on like R2D2 or the robots?
No.
Oh
ATST. T is in tango.
shit.
Well, AT-AT is the big ass things.
It is. Yes, you're right.
So it's got to be
See,
something in that field, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you this. All right, the ATST are those chicken walkers in Return of the Jedi. Those big
Oh, okay.
robots
Okay.
with two
Yeah, I know what
legs.
you're talking about. Yeah.
so
Hmm.
between us both, we can have enough random Star Wars knowledge
To dethrone, to
to
dethrone you.
thrive.
So what does it stand for? You two assholes?
What it stands for? I thought you
Yeah,
said
that's
what are
what I
they?
said. I said what does the acronym ATST stand for?
Oh,
All right. Yeah. Okay.
something terrestrial.
Nope.
Auto,
God
Standing.
damn.
automation,
Nope.
testicle, standalone testicle.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know
going
what?
with
Take your time. We can edit out the thinking.
that. I don't think I'm going to be able to think of what it could be either.
Uh, yeah. No, you're not as good as me. Admit it. Nope.
No, I don't think I am.
That was my best guess. I thought the testicles might be right.
That was solid. Yeah, but no. All-terrain scout transport. Fucking peasants.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
I was
right.
just about to spit that out, but
We were talking about the other
Was right
ATST.
there.
yeah, we were talking about the other one, James. Come on now.
Nah, but
Uh,
Kevin, I do not know what to ask you when it comes to sports. Um,
that's
I got those questions off of a a pre-done quiz, obviously, and I didn't know if they were going to be challenging or if you're going to be like, oh, this is going to be fucking Dolphins exact year and range and all that.
No, those
that's
were good questions. Like I didn't
those are
know all of
good.
those. So I mean, I thought those were good questions. He showed me some of them. I was like, you got to leave the Justin Tucker one on there because I knew you
Yeah.
that shit like right
When he
away.
said longest, I'm like Justin Tucker, but I wanted to let you finish the question.
That's funny. It'd been funnier if you cut me off, honestly. You're like
Yeah,
Justin Tucker. I'd have been like, what the fuck? Why are we even here?
yeah. He did it in Detroit in the Lions
That's
Stadium,
it. I give up. Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
which
You
is
got all the Star
funny.
Wars right too.
The Lions Stadium he did it in was, I'm pretty sure, the 64 yarder that Matt Prater hit was also the one, but the record before his record was also in the same stadium. So something
Yeah.
about kicking in that stadium in Detroit produces a long field goal. Well, it's
Now
indoors.
last week, was a Cowboys kicker that kicked a 63 yarder. He got close. He kicked a long ass one.
There
I
was
can't
somebody that kicked
remember who was
close.
somebody kicked a fucking bomb one last week. I can't remember exactly who it was, but
Gotta love them kickers.
and that's how I knew Justin Tucker because they were talking about like, oh, Justin Tucker holds the record.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Like I
funny.
would have guessed Justin Tucker, but I completely forgot because I was also thinking that Raiders old kicker that used to bomb them too.
Janikowski.
Janikowski, yeah.
That was the
Janikowski kicks the
guy.
long ones.
That was fucking Lane Kiffin's last game in the NFL when he attempted a 76-yard field goal with Janikowski. He said, "Fuck it, I'm out." That was great. He didn't even make it to the end zone. I think he landed like the 10 or some shit.
Yeah, that's pushing it, man. I mean,
76. But it was going
64
into
is impressive.
halftime. It was going into halftime. So like I'm like, it's one of those things like you would try on Madden,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because the
For the shit
likelihood
of
of
it.
returning it
I
back
tried
is
on
like
first
massive.
down just to do it.
Yeah. He's like, fuck it, I'm getting fired. It was the game before he got fired. He knew he was getting fired. He's like,
Yeah, he
fuck it,
knew it
let's
was
do it.
getting fired.
Oh me, the lane train.
One thing about Lane you gotta like is he is entertaining.
He
He's an
is.
entertaining guy. I mean, I think as a Vol fan, you probably hate him.
I don't hate him. He
You don't
did.
hate him. I think
We
most Vol
didn't.
fans hate him. I mean, they
What
threw
did
golf
he?
balls and batteries and everything else at him.
What did he do to us? That's what
Well,
I'm trying
he
to figure
okay, so
out. I remember
he left for USC.
he left. That was the problem. But I don't hate him for leaving. I hate us for not figuring out a way to keep him. If we wanted him,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's
we
a
had
good
a way
point.
to keep
But I mean, that he like because it was a few years Tennessee hasn't been doing good, and Lane came in, almost beat Bama,
him. Yeah,
went for Terrence
Terrence
Cody.
Cody.
So
Terrence fucking Cody.
and then he went straight to USC. So
Yeah, we had a scrappy squad. We were 6-6. We didn't have talent that year, the talent we should have had, but we were able to compete. He was able to motivate us.
yeah,
But he was there for one year. Yeah, it wasn't fun, but I mean, it worked out. which did Alabama or Tennessee, neither one of them play Ole Miss this year, do they?
No, neither one have to play Ole Miss this year. That's kind of weird to me, like not seeing Alabama play Mississippi State or Ole Miss.
Yeah, they get to dodge Ole Miss.
I think Tennessee versus Ole Miss would be a fun matchup to see this year, though. I think it would have been a
Gosh,
great year to have that on the schedule.
that's when we may have lost, but it's a good segue there to get into our college football. We're going to talk last week with no surprises, huh?
Well, okay, no surprises. I mean, I think everybody thought Tennessee would go take care of business in Oklahoma. That was like the matchup of the week, right?
And the score is closer than the game, I think. I mean, I feel like Tennessee was in complete control and they were fine. They were just trying to get out of Dodge. I think that it was 22-3 going into the fourth. That other quarterback came in. He made some plays. I mean, they weren't prepared, but they didn't seem to have their foot on the gas at that point. And then when they needed to, they were able to. You
Yeah.
know,
So, full disclosure, I actually didn't watch this game. I was at believe it or not, a 3 6 Mafia concert down in Huntsville, Alabama. So I actually didn't watch this game. So when I saw the final score, I was like, I just don't think there's no way that this was as close as the score is indicating. So then I started looking at highlights and things, and apparently Tennessee was in full control the whole game.
yeah, for the most part, I didn't get to watch it until about the fourth quarter, and I was like, and yeah, I kind of kept tabs on it. I don't know what game I was watching. There was another game on that was really good. At that same time, I think.
Auburn, Arkansas was fun to watch. I was keeping up with that one because I was kind of back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, I like watching SEC games like that too when there's really nothing on the table for either one of us. Like neither team's gonna affect the standings of the
Yeah,
SEC,
yeah,
but
those
it's
games can be
just
kind
a
of fun to watch.
good fucking
There
matchup with
was
a lot of
a
scoring.
there was an earlier game was a USC Michigan was a pretty big one too that week.
Yeah, I think we called Michigan to win that game, and
Yeah,
they did,
I
didn't
would,
they?
and they Michigan won that one. Yeah, no surprise.
Um, and there's one game.
Vanderbilt,
Oh man,
Missouri. Vandy
that's the
almost beat
one.
Missouri, and they should have beat Missouri.
We talked about that. You remember
Yeah,
we said Vanderbilt at Missouri, and
Vandy's
Missouri.
one of those teams right now that, like, man, if they could figure it out, they could easily be 4-0 right now instead of 2-2.
They'd be fucking ranked if they beat Missouri.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been some shit if they would have had that game.
Their quarterback's good. Their quarterback's good. I don't know what the fuck happened against Georgia Southern.
Yeah, that was just like a weird, like, that's just like the old Vandy. Whatever happened that game is the old Vandy.
Watch out, Alabama.
And we got them next week. Well, I guess we talk about so Tennessee's on a bye week, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be great to just relax and watch.
Tennessee's on a bye week, but Bama, I know somebody was talking a little shit earlier about Georgia. Plays Georgia this week.
Ooh,
That's gonna be one of the biggest matchups of the year, or one of the most
You said
viewed.
Alabama plays Georgia?
Alabama, Georgia this weekend. It's a big one.
that's exciting. And neither they will not be a rematch in the SEC championship.
I don't think so.
There's
Go
no way.
Georgia.
The winner of this one gets in. Well, to say the winner of this one gets in, most likely the winner gets in, but also,
Most likely the winner of this one will get in because, like, outside of Georgia, Alabama's next biggest game would be Tennessee.
yeah, that's their only two. Well, in the SEC, I mean, because Texas now they got Texas.
Bama don't have Texas. Georgia does.
Oh, yeah, We'll find out a lot about Texas too. I don't think they started SEC play yet, right?
No, they do this week against Mississippi State.
Oh well,
So that'll be a cakewalk.
well, we'll see.
I mean, you never know. You never really do know.
But yeah, so yeah, Bama, Georgia, huh? Big one. Yeah, obviously, it's a big one, right? So you would say
Bama
that.
is so big, Donald Trump will be there himself. It don't get much bigger than that. I mean, it's number 2 versus number 4. It's at Alabama. Alabama coming off where they beat Georgia, James, last year in the SEC championship. And Kirby Smart just has a hard time beating Alabama.
I don't
But
know, man. I don't
it's
know.
not Nick Saban at Alabama anymore. So we're going to find out a lot about Kalen DeBoer. And we're going to find out a whole lot about
That's
Alabama
right.
this week.
That's right.
Because the thing
Caleb.
about Nick
Caleb DeBoer.
Saban versus Kalen DeBoer, no matter the one thing I loved about Nick Saban and what I'm going to miss is there is always a feeling of comfort when Nick Saban's your head coach. Like, even if you're down through most of the game, the team's going to be competitive enough to keep the game close to where they can win it in the fourth. You never really felt like like you were always in the ball game with Nick Saban. And it was just a feeling of comfort. And he would always find ways to win those games if he was ever down. Like Nick Saban was just really dominant in the fourth quarter. Like his teams, that's when his team played the hardest. Like they played, 60 minutes. Kalen DeBoer, yeah, he's a great coach, and it's going to be an offensive minded coach versus a defensive minded coach. And it's just like, what Georgia are you getting? If we playing the Georgia that played Kentucky and escaped with a win, then Alabama's going to fucking whip their ass come Saturday. But that's not the Georgia we're going to get. I mean, Alabama gets everybody's best shot.
We'll
Uh,
see.
We'll see. Yeah.
I think we're gonna learn a lot more about Georgia than we're gonna learn about Alabama
I'll say this:
this
all
game.
pressure's on Georgia to win, and pressure's on Kirby Smart to win. There's no pressure in Alabama now. I mean,
No,
they're not favored to win. Georgia's favored to win. Kirby Smart's the one who, probably would have won the national championship if it went for Alabama beating them in the SEC championship and then not getting a playoff bid.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
that would
think Georgia's going to have a huge, gigantic chip on their shoulder. And I think we're going to learn a lot about Carson Beck, Georgia's quarterback. I've never been a believer of him, and I really just wanted to say, like, I think he's fucking shitty, but he might go out there and throw for 400 yards on Alabama Saturday. So I won't say that, but that's what I want to say.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he does, but I think Georgia's got way more to prove than Alabama because Georgia hasn't done anything this year. I mean, they haven't done much. But I don't know. I feel like we kind of knew who they were. But Georgia, people thought they knew what they were. Then Kentucky happened.
Exactly. That's the thing with Georgia. Now, ironically, for some reason, the Kentucky Georgia games are always close. I don't know why.
Yeah, always close. Yeah, Will Levis. Man, that was a Will Levis game. I remember a couple years ago. He
Mhm.
played against Georgia and balled out. It was just a
Yeah,
close game at the end. Kentucky Georgia games are just, or yeah, Kentucky Georgia games are just always close. It
they're
seems
always
like.
close. They're always close.
Man.
But we're gonna learn a lot. It's gonna be a good game. It'll be obviously the most watched game. College game day will be there, so it'll be fun.
What's the kickoff time? Is that a evening or?
6:30.
Oh,
6.
good,
Yeah.
good. That's good.
A new law, Alabama law. A lot of states are coming in on this. That I didn't mean to derail y'all's conversation, but I feel
No,
like this
no.
needs to be
I
touched
this
on.
is this is breaking news right here.
Break, yeah, they're talking in my ear right now. I gotta
This
bring
just
this up.
in.
Yeah, like we gotta talk about it, guys. We gotta cover it before the break.
Yeah, no. I mean,
Yeah. So
this is top of the line.
apparently, there was a law, a state law passed to where if you were going to access an adult website like pornography, you had to supply your driver's license to prove that you're 18. You know how they always ask you that bullshit, are you 18?
Yeah, and all you
And
gotta do is hit yes.
yeah, and no 15-year-old is like, oh, I better click the back button.
Yeah.
They're gonna catch me. Everyone clicks yes, and they came out with a law that said, all right, well, fucking prove it. And so you have to put in your driver's license number,
Oh,
and that was the new requirement that the Alabama law, the state law was, and Pornhub was like, no, we don't want to be responsible for your privacy and driver's license numbers and all that shit. So we're out. Sorry, guys. Vote people out. Fix your shit, whatever you got to do. But until y'all straighten it out, no more Pornhub in Alabama. And I'm sure it's not just them. I mean, this applies to all adult sites. So, which is so ironic because I mean, if you drive through Alabama, what is like the only two billboards you see? That one lawyer dude
The
every 2 miles.
Shanahan. I am Alabama guy.
And yeah, that guy, exactly what I'm talking about. And Miranda's
And
bookstore.
Miranda's bookstore. I was about to say in
That's
every
it.
Miranda's shop in the world.
That's it. Those are the only like a lawyer of some kind and a porn shop. Those are the only two
Yep.
ads they have in Alabama, and now they have completely gutted themselves of the last piece of their economy. So I hope Alabama wins because
You get a
football's
female
it.
governor for your state, and this is what happens.
Look
Okay,
what happens,
this is
man.
what happens. You
Yeah,
can't.
which is so weird because she should be empowering women's
Yeah,
right to
for real.
work.
If you
It's
can
not.
see her, you can be her.
They're not
they got a
sluts. They're
Bucky's.
sex workers, man. They
They
do
got a
have a
Bucky's.
bussies.
I do
They do.
freak with that Bucky's pretty often.
They do have a big bussies.
Yeah. Well, they don't
Lots of
have porn
buses.
anymore. I guess people are gonna have to get out of the house and go to the strip club like the old days. I don't know.
Oh yeah, the what is it called? The
The
pony?
Pony
The Bama
Express.
pony?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Pony. It's
You're
like you
all
grew up
right.
in Alabama. It's
It's all right. Yeah. There's a story I'm gonna have to give offline. We'll circle back. Yeah.
the Pony Express. Oh, I know that
Pony
one.
Express, man.
All
Well, that's
right.
Oh,
tragic. That's
cinnamon.
that's heartbreaking. Like I didn't know that, and that's like gonna happen to Tennessee probably if it happens to Alabama.
It's on the list. Yeah, it's on the list. So we're all gonna have to buy a VPN or something and get around it. People
Luckily,
were
I have a
asking.
VPN. Luckily, I do have that.
You may be okay. I mean, if it happens, you may be okay. But people were asking if Reddit was going to be on the chopping block because of how much content is on that, and
Mhm.
people were saying that it's got to be at least 30% uh, porn
Oh,
content before you classify under the law or whatever. So I think Reddit will be fine. So, I mean, Pornhub kind of went downhill anyway. Not that I would really know, but sorry, Alabama. That's a bummer. So you guys got to win against Georgia. I'm all for Team Georgia, but y'all need a W on your side this week for sure.
They they're gonna need a release. That's what you're saying. They're gonna need some kind of
Yeah,
release.
yeah, because it's either that or Miranda's, and I don't know if you've ever driven past Miranda's, but it's barely bigger than a closet.
It's not very big and it's very expensive actually. So
Have you? Okay, so you've been in.
I've been in them. Yeah.
It's so
I
creepy looking.
fun fact. I don't know if I should be showing this, but this little guy actually came from a Miranda's.
oh, that's
No
cool.
kid.
I swear to
Wow,
God.
that's an heirloom. Make sure
It's
your
been
daughter
quietly
gets
moving.
that.
Oh, she's got it. I've got it in my will and everything that no matter what happens to me, this gets passed down to her.
This never gets sold. Do not pawn this.
I'll take this to the grave.
If anything, donate it to the library, but do not give it away.
Take it down to Huntsville. Don't know what to do.
They'll be like, "Where did you get this?"
Have you ever seen the South Park episode, the World of Warcraft one, where it's like the little USB where because he gets the weapon on it?
I love that episode. Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's
Yeah.
pretty much what it is.
Jesus. Yeah, poor Alabama. You guys. I'm talking to you like you live there or something. But
I mean, I got a
yeah.
lot of relatives there. I got some stomping grounds there.
Send
That's
my
not that's
condolences.
that's not I feel like I got to reach out to my cousins now and be like, "Damn, bro, I'm sorry. I didn't
Do
know.
some wellness checks. Make sure they're okay.
I didn't know. I'm so
Send some
sorry."
send some state troopers out to the houses. Just knock on the door.
If I
You
don't see
know,
them post anything on Facebook in the next few days, I'm definitely going to be reaching out.
check on your brothers, dude. That's
That's sad.
it's very important. There's hotlines. Um, it will suck, like if that comes to Tennessee. Not for me, not for me, but for other people. Other people would be very
Yeah,
sad.
that's just crazy. I mean, okay, I get the concept of that because you're right. Nobody's ever been like, I'm not 18. I guess I should hit the back button. Like, I think if you hit the back button, something pops up and it says, "Are you actually sure you're not
I,
18?" And then in
I
parentheses,
got
it's
a
like, just hit the damn button.
confession time. All right, that was me. I did that when I was like 14 or 15. I finally got around the AOL firewall that my
Yeah.
parents had set up, and I got into a website, and it was like, "Are you 18?" And I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get in trouble."
So it
I
crossed your
clicked that.
mind.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh shit.
they got me.
You
They got
unplug
me.
turn the computer off and unplug it real quick. Oh God, I don't know.
Just open up the door and run outside. Yeah. Did you
But the guy I told you that was like the Southeast Pokemon champion, he had like a major porn addiction and he got caught all the time. He
Oh
would
my
blame it on
God.
me. He would be like, "It's Joe's fault. He just keeps telling me about it."
No, I'll tell you all the story.
Oh,
Um,
man.
so, y'all know I've watched a few Star Wars movies, and when I was a kid, I would play the Star Wars cards game, and that's where a lot of my completely useless knowledge came from was these cards. And there was an online community back then, even in dial-up, and there was a major website where guys would go on there, and you could play each other
Yeah.
online,
Yeah.
like on the computer, and you could say what card you have and where it's at, and you could have placeholder cards for the other guys, so you could kind of keep up with what's going on. Anyway, There was a guy that my buddy introduced me to, and I remember he would like ask us if we wanted to see some porn, and we were like 13 or 14, and we were like, "Fucking yeah, what do you got?" And he had this apparent library of like celebrity fakes. And he'd be like, "What celebrity you guys like?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm all about some Alicia Silverstone at the moment. What do you got?" And he would send over like
April of
three or
Hewitt.
four. Yeah, and then he was like, "Do you guys want to see what I look like?" And we were like, I guess, whatever." And so he sent a picture, and it was picture a nerd, first of all, like a basement dweller nerd.
Yeah.
And whatever is in your head is exactly what he looked like. And I didn't think about it until years later that we were totally being predatored.
You're lucky that you actually got a picture of him and not something else.
Like a fucking video. Yeah. I'm so lucky that we didn't just get some creepy webcam
This
video
dude
of
just
him like,
beating his fucking meat. Yeah, you like that, boys?
yeah, over a dead cat or something. Like we got away easy on that. But yeah, we survived. But he did have some good pictures though. He did send over some good ones. It was like, all right, where'd you get these? And he was like, ah. It's like, oh, okay. So
I watched him beat his meat for the video. It's like, what do you expect? Take it easy.
small prices, man. No, that would never have happened because we were on dial-up. It would have taken all night to get a 30-second video
Kids
like
will
that.
never know how easy they have it now because they didn't have
Oh
dial-up.
God. Yeah, no, for real. I could go on all night about those kinds of stories, unfortunately. But I don't want to derail a sports talk with sex
Well, I
comedians.
think the porn talk wraps it up because I got nothing else to say about Alabama. We're
That's
gonna see
it.
Oops.
this game. It's a big game. It'll tell us a lot. But
Bring
it's
home
hard.
that W, guys,
Do it for the state. At this
for
point,
the
you gotta
state.
do it
I
for the state. You can't jerk off. What are they gonna do? They're gonna go watch Alabama beat Georgia. That's what we're gonna
Yeah.
do. Fuck
the
Bo Nix. That's what we're gonna do.
And fuck
Well,
whoever your governor is too, or representative, whoever made this call. I don't
Horrible
know.
decision. Who supports that? Who supports that? People are gonna be pissed off, and everybody's gonna have attitudes, brushing everybody.
Yeah,
Probably
it's gonna be
fucking crime will probably go fucking up. I mean, damn, that's
gonna
not a
be
good.
no nut November like every
Every
month.
every month. God dang. Whew.
Plus our
Strippers gonna make a
health.
lot more money now, though.
Oh yeah. Oh
Mm.
yeah.
it's true.
They open up a few more locations. Get rid
People
of
be
the
going to
the.
fucking Miranda's and buying these DVDs. You know what? Miranda probably passed this law.
Hey, you're
Probably
onto
did.
something there.
Yeah, they
Ooh.
coincidentally had all their porn the last time I was in there in the front of the store, and I'm starting to figure out why they did that. They knew what was coming.
Yeah, they knew it was on their way, and they're
Product
probably
placement, my
rejoicing.
ass. They knew what was coming.
Oh my God, you might actually be right about that, Joe. You might be like not necessarily Miranda's, but in general,
Hmm.
like the physical media community probably pulled that off. That wouldn't surprise because it's not because they care. Let's be honest, they don't care
Don't
about.
give a fuck. They don't give a
No,
fuck
they
if little Jimmy's watching Sarah titty fuck Kevin.
they
They don't
don't
care.
care. No, they don't care if 40 she-males are standing around jerking off on some dude. They don't fucking care about that. Kevin, did you ever get busted? I don't think you had a
No,
chance to
no, no.
respond.
I said no, but definitely no. But I'm still on the fucking Drew Carey porn. Your mom.
Yes, I'm
I'm
telling you.
sorry.
I
Ah,
think
Like
I
yeah.
I'm
was
not
Let's go
gonna.
back.
That's fucking hilarious. That's
I think I
weird.
was looking for like an
That's
MSN
just
photo to use on my account or something like we could put the picture in. I don't remember
But
why I was looking for a Drew Carey photo, but it
you think
but
wasn't
how
like I
did you
was
end up
looking
with
for.
dicks?
It wasn't like I was looking for a new Drew
you
Carey photo.
think
I was
you.
just looking for a Drew Carey picture.
I got
And
a question
you
for
know how the
you.
internet used to be? You search something into Google, click on the images, and it'd just be dicks, like everything. And
But
it
did
just so
you?
Mine
happened to be
mine
my
didn't.
mom walked into the room the same time I pulled up a bunch of dicks. Like I couldn't help it. It's
How do they do that? They're so good at doing
Because
that.
do you think she? Do you think she like watches Prices Right anymore?
well, this was still Bob. So she
Well,
definitely was watching it.
but
But
now, like,
Now
now,
she probably can't even look at Drew Carey anymore.
or maybe that's all she looks at.
Maybe it's all she looks at. Maybe she's like, hmm. I didn't know
Maybe
Drew
Joe
Carey.
was onto something.
I mean, I learned Drew Carey's dick size, and I learned that he used to be in the Marines. So I feel like I got some pretty good knowledge out of that.
So he's got like a knee slapper. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm
You
saying.
know a lot more about this. I think we got to go down this rabbit hole because I feel like there's
Got like a tube of tennis balls hanging
Drew
there.
Carey
Four
better
pack.
not tell me those points don't fucking matter. That's all I'm saying.
Like
he's
a
going to be
deflated football hanging there.
he'll be at the Alabama game this weekend. So
We
So
need to
big,
bring Drew Carey into this conversation. Get him on the
so
show.
big it has a rib cage.
Yeah, that was just one of those moments where I assume my mom was probably like, "Oh, he's exploring." Because
Oh, okay. My son's a gay. Got it.
son of a bitch.
Time to say some more prayers this evening.
I'm taking his ass to Miranda's.
oh
He's
my,
gonna learn tonight.
He's gonna watch some titty fucking tonight.
I'm gonna take him down to my cousin at the Pony Express. He's we'll get that gay out of him. But I gotta keep my
No,
distance. I don't want to catch the queer. Yeah.
that was my first experience at Pony Express after that.
Yeah,
So
all right. You know what's funny about that? I got busted. But I'll deny it to this day. Uh, the same buddy who me and him were we found that guy or whatever with the library. Um, he brought over a disc because there wasn't a DVD yet. It was a disc and it had a video on it. So you had to put it in the computer, load it up, and play it in Windows Media Player or QuickTime or whatever it was.
yeah.
And it was a lesbian scene.
Mm,
And I don't mean it was 14 women in a
mm,
locker room
mm.
just going to town, tearing each other up. And I think I was 13 at the time, totally just melting my brain while I'm watching this, right? And he's in the room, I'm in the room. We're both just bricked up watching this shit. And he leaves, he goes home, and I'm like, well, you're not getting this CD back, just so you know. And the computer was in my room for whatever reason. And my parents liked to play bullshit games. Like dad would play solitaire and mom would play hearts. Dad would play Deer Hunter 4, whatever. And one day,
good games.
the perfectly acceptable games. One day I'm somewhere in the house and both of my parents are in my room and my mom comes storming out, right? Like she had been playing hearts or something. And my dad hollers at me and he's like, James, get here. And I was like, all right. And so I come skipping in or whatever. And he's like, can you explain this? And I was like, ooh, where'd that come from?
What,
I've
what is
never
this,
seen that.
Papa?
Ew, that's disgusting. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's disgusting. Who would even, what am I looking at? Oh, are those girls? Is that what those look like when they're naked? Oh, and dad's like, your mom found this just now. So, go ahead and explain. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is, Dad. That's it's my computer, but that's not mine. They planted that on me. And he was like, all right, well, I'm taking this CD. And I was like, I bet you fucking are. You better give me a copy when you're done. But yeah, so that was my busted story. It wasn't as gay as yours, but
The Drew Carey fetish is a new one for me. You know what? I got a question for you, James. You know what I just thought of? Maybe he never told. Maybe your mom never found it, and he found it, and that was how he got to keep the CD.
oh no, she found it because I saw her come out of that room and she was hot.
Well, maybe
She
he
was
just
mad
made
that
it
her
mad.
baby boy was growing up, is what it was.
Yeah.
I think dad had that little glimmer in his eye, of a father
That's
who
my
was like,
boy.
thank God, he wasn't
Woo!
like,
Glad that
he,
wasn't Drew Carey porn.
yeah, he didn't have to call
Oh
me up and be
my!
like, why are all these Drew Carey dicks on your screen? I'll be like, oh, Dad, we need to talk. You're
Oh,
not gonna have it. You're
you
not
should
gonna have
totally.
grandson.
I'm buying you a Drew Carey shirt to wear to see your parents next time.
Like, oh, I don't know where all those came from. I guess that's, all
So,
right. You got me. I got him at
Get
Miranda's.
you a Price is
it's
Right shirt.
funny because like I can remember it when she walked in. She was asking me like,
I bet you can. That's great.
she was asking me, do I want to go to Walmart? So she's like, do you want to go to Whoa?
That's not even technically caught. That's
Get
just
out, Mom!
Cleaning my room.
Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks.
Yeah.
And she's just standing outside the door with the door closed, and you just hear after a minute, "You done, sweetie?"
10 minutes later, I
Ew.
come out and I'm like, I'm ready to go.
Just all sweaty.
Man.
You just take a sock to the washing machine. You
Oh.
sick bastard, Joe. You gross me out.
I'm not gonna watch The Price is Right the same way ever again.
I
Never
kind of
be
feel
able to
like
see
I'm
it the same way.
I'm gonna try.
But I don't think I'll be able to. Not that I haven't watched The Price is Right now. I want to. That could be the next sponsor.
Now I'm wondering if Drew Carey hasn't been secretly hot all this time. Like, is Joe onto something or
I
He
was
was ahead
ahead
of
of
his
the curve.
times.
ahead of his
Ahead of the
time?
curve on the True Carry.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, that's a
uh,
good way to end this episode.
Yeah.
sorry.
You guys have any Drew Carey pictures you want to submit?
Don't do that. Do not do that.
Please,
Some hand-drawn
please.
illustrations would be perfect. I will post them.
Actually, yeah, now I have a goal to AI a picture of Drew Carey as this valiant warrior carrying you in his arms, Joe.
I want like the hentai version of it.
Like Drew Carey is like what is a centaur, right? He's the half man, half horse,
With
and you're just
tentacles.
a damsel in distress.
You got to be wrapped in tentacles with a bunch of like dollar signs all over them.
I've got to get a Drew Carey shirt for the next episode.
Fucking showcase showdown. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that one's going to be on the internet forever.
Yeah, my last house in Hermitage. It was me and my dad. We had to do some work in my basement because I had a pipe blow, I had some water leak damage, blah blah blah. And we were in the garage working on some wiring. And my garage was exposed ceiling. You could see the duct work, uh, you know, wires, all that stuff. And I had to get up on a ladder and I don't remember why, but I was up there. Oh, we were running Romex. That's what it was. We were running Romex wire through the ceiling. And I get up on top of a HVAC duct work, and up there is a box. And now, mind you, this house was built in '62, and my wife and I, we had only lived there for like 3 years at the time, and there was a box, and I'm like, uh-oh, I have found gold, and I pull it down, and it was. I wish I had kept the box. I think I threw it away, but it was a VHS. It was
Oh,
a
nice.
old school VHS busty babe blowjob, whatever it was. And it was like, I mean, it was tucked up in the ceiling on top of this ductwork, 3 inches of dust on top of it, right?
This has been up there for a while.
And I pull it down and I showed Dad. I was like, look at this. And he was like, oh, okay. This was some dude's getaway spot down here
Yeah.
in the garage.
Yeah.
We found a stash. So dudes have been hiding their shit like bones in the dirt since the beginning of time.
There was a place to hide a porn, you hit it.
Yeah, HVAC
Hmm.
unit apparently. Yeah, not in the family CD drive. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, probably not the best place for it.
No.
Oops.
All right.
Anyway, I'm signing off.
That's gonna wrap this one up. We'll
Great.
until next time.
I'll be laughing about the Drew
Stay
Carey
clear of
thing
Drew
for
Carey,
a long
folks.
time.
Yeah, I'm glad I brought that up.